Welcome back, listeners, to the second part of our English reader book chapter, Memories of Childhood. So, children, today we will do We Too Are Human Beings, written by Bama. I hope you all remember that the first part was entitled The Cutting of My Long Hair, written by Zitkala Sa, and this is part 2 of the same chapter, Memories of Childhood. Right? So, without discussing anything about the chapter, anything about the introduction, we would directly start with the chapter reading. See, written from the point of view of Bama, it is the childhood story of Bama, the writer only. Right? This is autobiographical once again. When I was studying in the third class, see, the tender age, third class means 9 years of age. When I was studying in the third class, I hadn't yet heard people speak openly of untouchability. How would a child of 9 years of age know about the things like untouchability and all? But I had already seen, felt, experienced, and been humiliated by what it is. Bama here discusses that she has not got knowledge about this topic untouchability, but yes, she has felt something. Children, sometimes we have not particularly heard those terms. We have not heard that vocabulary, but yes, we have seen those things happening. We have felt those things and events occurring in our society around us. And being a marginalized woman, as I told you in the previous session, being a woman of the class which is not considered superior, which is not considered rich and updated, so she had always been experiencing, seeing, feeling, and getting humiliated by others, and she has indirectly got to know the meaning of the word untouchability is that the rich people, the higher class people, feel that they are superior and they don't want the lower class people to touch them or their things, their belongings in any way. you know those rich class people, those higher class people need the services and help of these so called marginalized or poor people, right? So they need their help and support at every step in order to live a smooth and comfortable life, but they believe in untouchability. They don't feel like, they consider that if these lower class people would touch us, would touch our belongings, our things, our eatables, we would get polluted. They think that they will get polluted, they will get impure, right? In fact, their minds are impure. The writer is full of anguish, she is full of pain on seeing like all these things happening around us since she was a marginalized woman. So see, in the next paragraphs I'll be reading the text, and you will come to know in a very good manner that how she was treated and how she came to know of untouchability, that this is a custom being practiced in the society and how wrong this is, right? And she would also share a revolutionary step she took so that like she could feel comfortable in this like a higher class dominated society, right? So read next paragraph. The incident is described. Once I was walking home from school one day, an old bag hanging from my shoulder. It was actually possible to walk the distance in 10 minutes, but usually it would take me 30 minutes at the very least to reach home. It would take me from half an hour to an hour to dwaggle along, watching all the fun and games that were going on, all the entertaining novelties and oddities in the streets, the shops, and the bazaar. The performing monkey, the snake which the snake charmer kept in its box and displayed from time to time, the cyclist who had not got off his bike for 3 days and who kept pedaling as hard as he could from the break of the day, the rupee note that were pinned on to his shirt to spur him on, the spinning wheels, the Marietta temple, the huge bell hanging there, the pongal, the festival, right? The pongal offerings being cooked in front of the temple, the dried fish stall by the statue of Gandhi, the sweet stall, the stall selling fried snacks, and other shops next to each other. The street light always demonstrating how it could change from blue to violet, right? The Narikuravan, like hunter gypsy with its wild lemur in cages, selling needles, clay beads, and instruments for cleaning out the ears. Oh, I could go on and on. Each thing would pull me to a standstill and not allow me to go any further. A wonderful description, I would say. A beautiful one. See, children, the writer has described that how she used to go to school, how she used to return home. Like the distance was of walking distance was of 10 minutes. As we say that I have to go 1 kilometer and the walking distance is of 10 minutes, right? The distance could be covered in 10 minutes, but the writer, like she shares in a wonderful manner, I would again say that she used to cover that 10 minutes distance in 30 minutes. Why? Was she mad? Was she abnormal? No. Actually, she was of that kind of people, that category of people who enjoy their life to the fullest. As a child, she wanted to enjoy her life, so she describes that why she used to take 30 minutes instead of 10. She has made it a routine, she's made it a part of her routine to look at each and everything that used to come on her way. Entertaining novelties means new things. Oddities in the streets means those the things which were strange, which were odd, the shops, the bazaars. So she shares that she always used to see the monkeys performing in order to entertain people. The snake charmers, the charmers that roam from one street to the other, like showing the people snake show and then collecting money from them. Those spinning of wheels, the temple that was on the way, the bell that used to hang in that temple and being rung by people again and again. The festival Pongal, people prepare food, sweet food at home and offer to their respectable deities that was being prepared and cooked in front of the people. The dried fish stall by the statue of Gandhi, the fish stall, she used to see each and everything. Suppose, children, you start from your home, you go to your school by foot, and what things do you see? Like if I start from my home and go to school, I would notice the court complex that comes in the way, a temple, two gurdwaras, several shops, a meat shop, a wine shop, some medical stores, a showroom of Hyundai, right? Several things I see. See, in the same manner, the writer is describing that she used to enjoy each and everything on the way. She used to look at the temple, look at the snake charmer, monkey, right? The dried fish stall, sweet stall, like each and everything. The street lights, how the street lights were blue when they were blown, and then they used to change color from blue to violet, right? The gypsies roaming around, the people selling needles, people hawkers are there in the street selling one thing or the other, selling clay beads, instrument, earbuds, we call earbuds, the instrument used for cleaning ears, that white and pink colored, right? And she feels that, oh, I could go on and on. It means that was an eye feasting for Bama, the writer, right? She used to do eye feasting, she used to enjoy each and everything on her way. you know she mentions that each thing would pull me to a standstill, means everything used to attract her in such a manner that she wanted to stand there and watch that and do her entertainment, but not allow me to go any further. The things were so attractive, the things on her way to school were so attractive that she could not resist herself from stopping there. She stopped there for a moment, enjoy the thing, and then she goes on, right? So I hope that's clear till now. Next paragraph. At times, people from various political parties would arrive, right? At times, mean many times, people from political parties, in order to do their campaigning, put up a stage and harangue us through their mics, criticizing the other people, taking the common people into their confidence, asking them for voting, and like giving them fake promises of doing this and doing that. So then there might be a street play, a puppet show, no magic, no miracle, stunt performances. All these would happen from time to time. But almost certainly there would be some entertainment or other going on. Bama tells her that one or the other entertainment was always there. Either some political parties were there, then also a scene was created. Snake charmer would be there, or some puppet show, like one or the other hawker, one or the other person showing a street show, showing a street play, bikers doing their stunt performances. Like something would be there for the entertainment, that she always used to take 30 minutes, minimum 30 minutes to reach home to school, and like school to home, right? So see what happens next. Even otherwise, there were the coffee clubs in the bazaar, right? Coffee clubs were there. The way each waiter cooled the coffee, lifting the tumbler high up, when we want to cool down some hot beverage, suppose the milk has boiled and we are cooling it down. So from a height, it is poured in from one cup to the other, right? And pouring its contents into a tumbler held in another hand. Like we used both our hands in order to cool down the hot beverages, putting into one tumbler and then putting the same beverage into another tumbler so that it cools down early. See, like how curious she is. On the way, some people sat in front of the shops chopping up onions, their eyes turned elsewhere so that they would not smart. Or the almond tree growing there and its fruit, which was occasionally blown down by the wind. Almonds, obviously the trees she describes, those were there, and its fruit, like on some of the occasions, means that sometimes it blew off from there by the wind and falls on the ground. Like all these sights taken together would tether my legs and stop me from going home. It means all these sights block her legs. Actually, her mind was stuck in getting entertainment and she gets late for home, right? See what she notices one day. Gazing at all this one day, I came to my street, my bag slung over my shoulder, right? She was gazing, and like one day she came to her street and her bag was, as seen in the picture, her bag was slung here, like a sling bag was there, and she was hanging that in her arm, right? At the opposite corner, though, a threshing floor had been set up and landlord watched the proceedings. Seated on a piece of sacking spread over a stone ledge, our people were hard at work driving cattle in pairs round and round to trade out grain from the straw. The animals were muzzled so that they wouldn't help themselves to the straw. I stood for a while there watching the fun. Now see what she notices. Like she notices that in the opposite corner a threshing floor was there, and a landlord was watching the workers who were working on his land, right? So the higher class people, they have employed many other people to work for them in order to proceed with their business dealings, right? So what happened there, what she notices, like everything was at work, and people of lower caste especially, so they are hard working. She says like they are already hard at work and driving cattle in pair round and round, right? Taking grain from the straw, that process. And animals were muzzled so that they wouldn't help themselves to the straw. So she stood there for a while and watching all the fun, noticing the people working hard, everybody busy in their own works. What incident happens? Next paragraph. Just then, an elder of our street came along from the direction of the bazaar. The manner in which, see the picture, a string is there. See the knot of the spring. A spring is there, and with that string he is holding a polythene carrying something, right? The manner in which he was walking along made me want to double up. Double up means you pay double attention to that thing. Like the elder was coming and he was holding something in a funny manner. I wanted to shriek with laughter, means she was about to burst with laughter at the sight of such a big man carrying a small packet in that fashion, means in that style. She was amazed, like, what is the idea of carrying it like by holding it a string? You can just hold the polythene by its handle, right? I guessed there was something like vadai or green banana bhaji in the packet because the wrapping paper was stained with oil. It means some oily substance, some edible thing was there inside the packet. Probably it was vada, right? Vada or some banana bhaji, right? So it must be containing that edible thing, and he came along holding out the packet by its string without touching it, means without touching, and the string was there on the packet. He was just holding that string only, he was not touching the rest part of the food. I stood there thinking to myself, if he holds it like that, won't the package come undone and the vadais fall out? She feels that the vadais or the eatable which is contained in the packet may fall out because he was holding it in an insecure manner, like preventing his hands to give any touch to the polythene itself, right? The elder went straight to the landlord, bowed low, and extended the packet towards him. Cupping the hand that held the string with his other hand, the landlord opened the parcel, began to eat the vadas. So what happened? The elder man went to the landlord for whom he was working as a servant. Right? He went to the landlord, he wished him, and he handed over that packet to the landlord. So taking that packet in the hand and not touching the place from where he had held the string, means landlord did not touch this string, right? He did not touch this string. In fact, he just opened the packet, right, and begin eating the vadas that were there, right? Next paragraph. After I had watched all this, at last I went home. She had to go home, right? So Bama went home after watching the incident that was quite funny for her. My elder brother was there. I told the story in all its comic detail. I fell about with laughter at the memory of a big man within and an elder at that, making such a game out of carrying the parcel. Right? So, but Annan was not amused. Anna is the name of Bama's brother, and when Bama narrated the entire incident of carrying a packet by a string and not touching any part of that packet or that eatable, how the elderly man was holding it in a funny manner, so she was mad with laughter at that sight, and she shared that incident with her brother Anna, who was not at all happy to hear that. Anna was elder. He knew the custom of untouchability being practiced, the hatred. So Anna told me that the man was not being funny when he carried the package like that. He said everybody believed that they were upper caste and therefore must not touch us. If they did, they would be polluted. That's why he had to carry the package by its string. In opposition to Bama's narration of the incident, Anna explained that that was not a funny act, nonsense girl. That was an act of pathetic. That was an act which actually looked pathetic, which was pathetic in reality. How? See, that land was belonged to higher class, and he didn't want the lower class people to touch him or his food. If the lower class people touch him or any of his belongings, he will get polluted. That's why here the elderly man was carrying it in his hand with a string, not touching the food at all, so that the food should not get polluted. See what would be the reaction of writer Bama? When I heard this, I didn't want to laugh anymore, and I felt terribly sad. That laughter of Bama turned into terrible sadness, right? How could they believe that it was disgusting if one of us held the package in his hands, even though the vadai has been wrapped first in a banana leaf and then parceled in a paper? See, the vadai which he wanted to eat, which he had ordered, that was wrapped in a banana peel first. That by mistake, if that carrier, if that elderly man, by mistake, if he touches the eatable, he should touch only the outer layer, the banana peel, which is to be thrown right after taking the vadai of it. Bama felt extremely angry at the statement of Anna, that how this is possible, like untouchability, what is this, what nonsense is this actually, right? So I felt so provoked means feeling too much angry, so provoked and angry that I wanted to touch those wretched vadais myself straight away. She said that if she had known that that elderly man was not touching it because he considers himself a poor untouchable, Bama herself wanted to touch those vadais straight away without doing any concern with that banana peel or with that polythene. I wondered, she wondered that why should we have to fetch and carry for these people? Such an important elder of ours goes meekly means in a weak manner, to the shops to fetch snacks and hands them over reverently. Reverently means by showing respect, bowing and shrinking to his fellow who just sits there and stuffs them into his mouth. The thought of it infuriated me. Infuriated means again provoking anger. So Bama asked Anna that why the hell we people are working for such higher class people who consider us untouchables. Like Bama is so innocent. She was in just third standard. She is asking that if those people are so much full of hatred for we people, then why do we work for them? Because she is not realizing at this time, she is not realizing that the responsibilities of life are there, which compels a man to do service of such kind of people or who bear such poor mentality. But she is very angry that why a respected elder man of our community goes to the shops, purchases meat or purchases vadai for these people, hand it over to them, because he was a servant, right? So see what answer Anna gives. Next paragraph. How was it that these fellows thought so much of themselves because they had scrapped 4 coins together? Did that mean they must lose all human feelings? But we too are human beings. See, the title is justified. Bama says that why this inhuman behavior is done just because they are a bit rich, just because they have gathered a little bit of money, just because they have earned more money than us, right? So this doesn't mean that they will behave in an inhuman manner. We too are human beings means we are also equal to those people. There is nothing like untouchability. How can those people do this inhuman act to us, right? Our people should never run these pretty errands for these fellows. We should work in their fields, take home our wages and leave it at that. Right? So Bama here expresses her concern that they should work in their fields and take their wages, per day wages. Suppose it's 20 rupees, 50, 100 rupees, whatever that is. So take that wages and leave the place. Means business, no personal favors. So why we do personal favors to them? So see the answer given by Anna. My elder brother, who was studying at a university, had come home for the holidays. Anna had come home for spending his holidays. He would often go to the library in our neighboring village in order to borrow books. Obviously, they were poor people and they had to borrow books from library. He was on his way home one day, walking along the banks of the irrigation tank. One of the landlord's men came up behind him. He thought my Anna looked unfamiliar and so he asked, "Who are you, Appa? What's your name?" Anna told him his name. Immediately the other man asked, "Thambi, on which street do you live?" The point of this was that he knew on which street we lived, he should know our caste too. When people ask, "In which colony do you live? On which street do you live?" they actually want to ask in which community do we live, to which community do we belong, and what is our caste, if we belong to higher caste or to a lower caste, so that they should deal with us in that manner only. Ki if we belong to lower caste, they would loathe us, they would hate us, and they would not touch us. If we belong to higher caste, they would consider us like brothers and sisters. So this incident happened with Anna when he was going or traveling his way from home to library, right? So he was asked by one of the people that who are you. It means what is your location. It means he wanted to know Anna's whereabouts and about his caste especially, so that his dealing should be decided ki whether to deal good with this person or not to deal good, right? Next paragraph. Anna told me all these things, and he added, because we are born into this community, we are never given any honor or dignity or respect. That means because we are born in this community, this caste, which is considered lower by people, that's why we are never given any respect by others. We have no esteem, we have no honor. We are stripped of all that. Stripped means scrapped of all that. We are robbed of all these things. Like nobody respects us because we are from lower caste. See, children, Anna is going to give a big lesson to Bama, which she will adopt in her life. And yes, she does that. See, Anna further says that, see, but if we study and make progress, we can throw away these indignities. And so, study with care, learn all you can. If you are always ahead in your lessons, people will come to you of their own accord and attach themselves with you. Work hard and learn. The words that Anna spoke to me that day made a very deep impression on me, and I studied hard with all my breath and being, in a frenzy almost. As Anna had urged, I stood first in my class, and because of that, many people became my friends. The heavier the pocket, the more friends you will invite. The intelligent you are, the more intelligent a student is, the more friends he attracts. So same, Anna gave an excellent advice to Bama that even if we are from lower caste, but if we get successful in distinguishing ourselves in our studies and excelling in our class academics and activities, so we would have a different identity of our own, and in spite of our caste, creed, color of skin, in spite of all these things, people would come to us. You know why? Because of our talent, because of the intelligence we have in our mind. They would need our help. They would even pay us like for getting our services in order to help them with their work. So being a sensitive child, being a sincere child, Bama acted upon the advice of Anna, and she tried her level best to work hard with all her breath and being. It means she made utmost efforts and in a frenzy almost, right? So she gave her all in all efforts to her study, and as Anna had wanted, she stood first in her class, and because of that achievement of getting first rank in her class, many people became her friends. They began to behave very nicely towards Bama. So that's the story of Bama, a story of victory of a Dalit girl, of a marginalized girl who distinguished herself in life by taking lessons in time. We often hear from our parents, आज पढ़ लो, कल को तुम्हें किसी से मांगना नहीं पड़ेगा. Study hard today, you will not have to beg in future. Work hard, the success will come to you. Do hard work and you will be happy in future. So such kind of things are often heard. And yes, students, I too suggest, after reading this story especially, we should work hard in order to attain success. This is not the only thing. Working for present is not enough. If we achieve degree of MPhil, PhD, MEd, DLET, etc., what will happen after achieving? Nothing. We again have to work, right? We again have to work. But yes, if we have worked hard in like in this age of 15, 16, 20, 25, 30, so of course our next next part of life would become much easier. We would be having all the comforts and luxuries of life that we need for our happy survival. So I suggest take learnings from this lesson. So I hope you must have liked it. So do the back exercise question and answer keys would be shortly shared with you. Stay connected, stay at home, be safe, and continue your studies, right? So thank you so much for the patience listening. Have a nice day.